Let's talk about Raw to Netflix. I'm Will. That's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling podcast. As always, let's cheers. Let's talk about some wrestling.
Ooh, that tastes good. Yeah, Raw to Netflix. Not much else I feel like needs to be said.
Today, when this comes out.
Today has been built up forever. I guess right off the bat, the only thing I'll say is I hope it's better than the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. Well, golly.
Triple H is like, if we draw 60 million viewers and it glitches a little bit, that's fine by me. So a lot's happening. It's Triple H, speaking of that, has also said that he plans on this to be a WrestleMania level event. Is taking place in that new like Intuit Dome or whatever. The new Clippers arena should be state of the art. It's going to be an absolute show. We have some, at this point, when this comes out, there's probably a lot more confirmed for it.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure we're going to be way behind the ball in terms of what's
way behind the ball. We're having to record this almost 2.5 weeks before it comes out, or before that date because of the Germany trip. But this will be the last pre-recorded thing y'all see because we back live tonight. Twitch.com/codwrestlepod. Be there to watch along with us. Might as well throw that in there.
That was professional.
It was. The thing that I'm most excited about is the thing that we definitely know is happening. My boy's returning. John Cena. He's back. He is absolutely back. We're officially in the final year of John Cena's in-ring wrestling career for the WWE. I'm officially on the timer for 12 months from now. I will be bawling my eyes out watching that man leave the ring for the final time. But the question here really is, so we know that he's going to have a farewell tour. Yeah. We know it's starting tonight. What is John Cena going to do on Raw to Netflix?
Yeah, man, I'm even thinking about it. I'm already getting sad. I can feel it. Feel the water in my eyes coming. Yeah, I think tonight he comes out. I think he just maybe tries to cut some sort of promo, the same things that he's been doing about the champ is here. This is my last year. You're going to get the best of me. He's already announced that he's going to be in the Rumble. So we know that. We already, I guess we have seen that he's advertised for Chamber as well. So we kind of know that as well. I assume tonight we'll get that fiery, good old John Cena. It's good to be back. Let's get down to business. Here we go. And then somebody interrupts him. And maybe we get glimpses into maybe that first feud that kind of bleeds over into that Rumble-esque.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. I think he starts the show. I think it's John Cena let me backtrack. Triple H is starting the show on Netflix. Triple H is coming out. Welcome to Monday Night Raw, Pyro, all the good stuff.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I don't know why I combined Triple H with the SpongeBob SquarePants pirate.
Are you ready, kid? We're going to get Triple H walking out. We're going to get new Pyro. Probably going to get a new set.
I can't wait for that new theme song and the new video package.
No, it's gonna be ass. The new theme song is probably gonna be ass. We know it. We were all ready for that SmackDown one, and it was a Megan Thee Stallion thing. But anyway, back to John Cena. I think you're right. I think he comes out. I think he cuts a good old promo. He kind of reestablishes the fact that we got ourselves a 1-year time ticking bomb when it comes to his career. He says the time is now, and then I think we get introduced to his first challenger, or maybe we even get a match from him on the night one, or at least set up Saturday night main event round 2. He may get a match there, but we'll figure that out. Who do you think may be the guy that comes out and challenges him first?
I didn't know you were going to put me on a spot like this.
I'll go ahead and say mine. If the transfer portal works its magic, I think Carmelo Hayes would be the perfect guy to start feuding with John Cena.
Yeah, that's a damn good pick.
It's a damn good pick.
It's a damn good pick, and one that I probably should have thought. I kind of was thinking that, but I was like, let me give this to him. He's not. You know what? Get this one. Started out hot. Started out heavy. Give me John Cena and LA Knight on the mic. Give me a battle. First night. I don't care. You just give it to me. I don't. They don't even have to have a match. Just have them go out there and just go at each other.
That'd be
just
awesome.
Give me that.
They they do a stare down in the middle of the ring. And LA Knight would slowly take off the mist blockers, as he calls them.
Yeah, and Cena will ask him if he has his promo written on his hand because it's The Rock.
Yeah.
We know we're going to get that down the line. Maybe, like I said, it's something small like that. Maybe it's LA Knight coming out and saying, hey, props to you, John. You had an incredible career, but your time is up and my time is now. Maybe he says something like that.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. This kind of bleeds into the next little thing I wanted to discuss about when it comes to Raw to Netflix, because when we mentioned John Cena's first challenger, and you said LA Knight, I said Carmelo Hayes. Well, currently, as we're filming this, both guys are over there on the blue brand.
Yeah.
Which we've been hinted at this point in us recording. We still haven't been told what the hell the transfer thing really looks like. It's been mentioned once an episode, but there's no like rule book. There's no like official transfer that's been made. We really don't know nothing. Mm-hmm. Are there going to be any big transfers night one of Netflix? Something to kind of blow the roof off the place?
Yeah, I think there's going to be some huge ones. Like you said, at the time we're recording this, we don't really know anything. It was just kind of mentioned. We know that Superstars kind of a superstar shakeup, and I think they said like, I could be wrong, but from like the 3rd to the 6th is when they have like picks or however you want to word it. Somebody in the comments could be like, I can't believe you guys didn't know about the transfer portal, not knowing that we recorded this super early. My first one, mine's going to be a big one. I'm going to go with Bianca Belair from SmackDown to Raw.
That'd be great.
I mean, she just kind of screams Netflix.
Yeah.
They need somebody to kind of solidify that. We talked about the Raw division. The top of the Raw Women's division, at least for 2024, was basically Liv and Rhea. And you're like, well, but I want some more. And like, that's what you get. And you're like, some more, son. And they're like, no, that's what you get. So I think that's a big one right there. I know at the time that we're recording this, she is still a tag champ. Maybe that changes. Maybe it doesn't. It honestly doesn't even really matter if it does.
Right. They get to go both brands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick to what I said in our transfer video. If you haven't seen that podcast, go back and watch that. But I do think they're going to blow the roof off this thing and do the whole John Cena comes to Raw with Cody Rhodes. So, like, I think they're going to do back in the day how Raw and Batista switched brands. I think that on Raw to Netflix, they're going to announce, like, Raw has acquired a big acquisition, and the whole place is going to go, dark. And then it's going to be, wrestling
the boogeyman.
Wrestling has more than one royal family. We get the big pop. Cody Rhodes comes over to Raw. I think that it's exactly what you just said. Bianca Belair screams Netflix. Well, Cody Rhodes screams Netflix. He really does. He spent his time over on SmackDown. Gunther on SmackDown, I think, is extremely interesting to me.
Yeah.
And if you want to go deeper into that forum, we've already talked about this in our other video, like I just said. But I do think that if we do get a big time transfer on the Raw to Netflix, it'll be Cody.
Yeah, I would almost bet, I don't even know, an undisclosed amount of money, I guess, that Cody is switching. I feel like the switch with Gunther and Cody just makes sense. I know, shout out to Gunther. Like, Gunther's been great. Gunther's been fantastic. Nothing against Gunther. But I mean, it's Cody Rhodes, and you're going to want somebody like Cody Rhodes to be your lead at Netflix.
We may as well address the rumor going around the good old interweb.
There's a rumor going around. Remember that song?
There's a rumor going around. I like that song. Jesus
People
Christ.
are like, what
the hell are they talking about? There's a big rumor going around the internet when it comes to the transfer portal and wrestling, and it was that Netflix wants the bloodline on Raw. Netflix wants the bloodline. How do we feel about the bloodline going to Raw? How do we feel about that being the big acquisition from Raw to start their era on Netflix?
I mean, I guess I'll answer your question with a question. So is Cody for sure going to Raw? Because if Cody is going to Raw, then I don't want the bloodline on Raw as well. I want them to be separate. Now, you might just break that up and you might just say, well, we get just Roman Reigns. Maybe that's how they do it. We do know Roman and Solo are going to have a match on the very first Netflix on Raw. So maybe that's what they do. But I personally would just like it if Cody was away from anything bloodline oriented.
Yeah, I completely agree. This is all hypothetical. I would love for Cody to be the big acquisition for Raw in the transfer portal, and him to be finally far away from the bloodline and really have no excuse for Cody's new part of his title reign to not be good, because you're far away from the bloodline. There's nothing that's not itching you at all. That's not even an option for you. There's no fallback plan on like, oh well, we can always just tack him in the bloodline for a month. We could be done with that. I mean, we saying all this, and Kevin Owens could be the title holder during this time.
Yeah.
So who even knows there?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, well, like he said, we're recording this even before Saturday Night Main Event.
Saturday Night Main Event is in approximately 2 hours. So we're there. I do want to kind of I don't want to label it specifically as a Cody Rhodes getting his title back, but big time title change on the first Raw to Netflix. Do you see it coming? And if you do, who would it be?
That's a really tough question. That would be my pick probably, but which doesn't make any sense because if you watched our original predictions for Saturday Night Main Event, I predicted Cody. So I don't think he's losing the title. I could do a shakeup with Liv dropping the title on Netflix.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably a safe one.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with it. She did fantastic. I assume they're going to keep that feud going. But you need a big time women's match on Raw. That's what we've been getting for the past year, basically at this point. Just do it again and have something big happen. You got to have something big happen in terms of the titles. And it would be nice to see it come from one of those main ones and not just an IC title and say, oh, well, here you go. We did this. Well, yeah, but what about that one? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. If a title is going to change hands on Raw to Netflix, I want it to be a women's title. And that could be either or. So I either want Liv to drop it to whoever at this time. It could be Rhea, I guess.
Or Io. They could run that back. Yep.
If they run that back, if Io doesn't win tonight either, this could just all be completely
Or
wrong.
if Io beats Liv and she has it and somehow there's
Gets
something
it back.
there. Yeah.
Right.
Something like that.
So either that or I would absolutely love Tiffy Time to hit Netflix. Man, oh man, a Tiffy cash in on Netflix would it'd be a standing ovation. I'd be standing on my feet, clapping. I'd buy a Raw to Netflix t-shirt, pink, Tiffy Time. I'd do it all. So I'm with you. If it's going to be a title change, make it be a women's title. But more importantly, let's get a big title shake-up on Raw Netflix, the first episode. Let's do it.
Yeah, I feel like you got to have something. Obviously, we talked about a set, and we talked about a song, and we talked about a video package. Those are all very important for a new feel. But I want the actual wrestling, the superstars, the society inside of the wrestling, as we've talked about it before. I want that to feel different.
100%. There is one more rumored but basically confirmed match at this point in recording. Mm-hmm. Seth Rollins, CM Punk. That seems to be 100% slated. I would be absolutely shocked if somehow, some way that doesn't get slated for
probably
for
your main
Raw.
event. Oh, no, it's not.
No, it's not. Yeah.
No, it's not, because I just remembered that. Oh.
Roman must pose.
Uh-huh.
I don't hate Roman.
He's not going to be posing either.
He ain't going to be posing them. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Mm-hmm. Raw to Netflix.
Yep.
How in the world is this going to end? Who should win? What's the move there?
Golly.
It's tough.
It is tough. I guess my biggest thing is it feels weird. It's probably the best way I'll word it. You want something like that to be on Netflix. I get it. You want the premiere to be fantastic, and I think it will be. It feels weird to me that this is like the first match, and I think of how good this is going to be, and I will want more matches after that. But then you're also running into like, okay, well, we don't have much time until Mania season, unless they do it, they run it back again at Mania, something like that. So I think it's going to be a little bit weird. I'm going to go with my gut here. I'm going to go with CM Punk. I feel like the momentum that Punk picked up in 2024 was fantastic. Rollins 2024 was a little bit underwhelming. Some injuries had, played a part in that. Also, Rollins at some points kind of put some other people over. He let other people shine. I think we kind of continue to see that here. And then I think maybe you have Rollins is a potential transfer portal pick to me. As shocking as that may seem, you want your stars on Monday night. I get that on Netflix. But you got to have something on SmackDown as well for people to tune into. We talked about Gunther.
Yeah.
You got to there's going to be a star from Raw that goes over to SmackDown to kind of carry that. And I feel like maybe Seth Rollins is that guy.
Oh, there's a lot to unpack for that you said.
Yeah.
It's a lot to think about. I am with you. When I saw that this rumored, and I think by now, like I said, hopefully it's confirmed because
it's probably not even on the card.
Yeah, it's like, they're gonna be like, these guys are going on for 30 minutes about nothing. Anyway, if it does end up happening, I do think I'm with you. It feels a little weird because this is a match that I kind of selfishly, desperately wanted at WrestleMania. Like, I just think that story lends itself to WrestleMania, and both these guys deserve like a WrestleMania main event match, and this could really do it. And you could get one of them if you could get one of them a title between now and then, it could really, really do it. Mm-hmm. So having their first bout be on Raw to Netflix feels like a little bit of a cheap cop out in a way. I get it. You want to start your show off with a bang. But winner here is very important to me, like very, very important. And it's hard because I wanted to give CM Punk the win over Drew McIntyre in their feud, but and I feel like that was right in order to get CM Punk to this moment. But like Seth Rollins is also a dude who's been putting guys over for the past few years. He hasn't really been to the, he put Drew over at Mania, right? And then, he also put over, The Rock and Roman at Mania. He was the MVP at Mania. So eventually you got to start establishing him as being one of the top guys again. You can't just lose all stock in Seth every single time he gets involved in a big match. He loses, right? You can't start having that happen. Yep. So if I had to pick one, I'd probably say Seth Rollins. And then you could maybe play the CM Punk, his odds in the Royal Rumble go up. And then you maybe have Seth Rollins find his way into the world title scene, and then you can run it back at WrestleMania if they decide to give CM Punk the Rumble win.
You know what I think would be really funny? As you were talking, I thought about that as well. The CM Punk Rumble win. You could have Rollins win this. That's fine. That's fantastic. I honestly really don't think that there's a wrong choice. I think it's just how they do it. So I talked about Gunther going over to SmackDown. You talked about that. I talked about Rollins going over to SmackDown. Man, wouldn't it be funny if Rollins kicks off Netflix and he gets the win and he's like, I'm taking my talents over to SmackDown. I'm going to challenge Gunther. And then Punk just wins the Rumble and he's like, actually, I want that. Yeah. I want to go face Gunther. Yeah. And he once again hurdles Seth. And now he's like, okay, well, now I'm going to go fight Gunther. You didn't win the Rumble, but I did. You could always potentially run that back later. I think it's important with the Netflix stuff that the Punk Rollins match isn't going to be the only one that we get. We're going to get more down the line. I think that would be kind of a cool little story.
Man, there's so many people who should deserve to be involved in the main title scene. Like Drew McIntyre deserves to be in it. Mm-hmm. Gunther arguably deserves to be in the main title scene of WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Good Lord.
Yeah, there's a lot that could potentially happen between where we're filming this and then, but I guess we'll see.
Main event of Raw to Netflix is already set though. As of recording this, we are going to have Roman taking on Solo in tribal combat, 1-on-1 for the oofalafel, as LA Knight puts it. Raw to Netflix. The hell is going to happen there, man?
Well, I mean, it can only mean one thing, I think, to me.
If you smell.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the main event, so you know something's going to happen. It's in LA. You need to get those numbers there. You know The Rock wants to be on that premiere episode. You know The Rock wants to stand tall at the end of it. And you're like, well, how the hell does that happen? Well, he can just cost Roman. And I've talked about it a little bit before on the live stream. I talked about it off camera. God, I think it would be so great if Solo just takes it off, takes the Ulafala off, and just places it over The Rock. Then he poses with The Rock as they stand over Roman. You could sign me up.
Yeah, ever since you said that, it's the only thing that I want.
It's kind of like that time you talked about Sami. Sami Zayn with the heel turn. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to end your first Raw on Netflix with Solo after almost a year's worth of pushing his own bloodline and trying to establish himself as this tribal chief, and then he just smirks and hands the Ulafala over to The Rock, and we figure out this has all been just a part of The Rock's plan the whole time, and he's a puppet master. It's a WWE storyline conspiracy theory that's happened ever since it started. And my, oh my, would it just be the greatest ending to a Raw in history, maybe the greatest ending to a wrestling event in history. I would be that over the moon about it. Make that happen. I don't think Roman Reigns wins this match at all, because if he does, well, they won the Civil War. He got the Ulafala back. Well, that's over. So what the hell is Roman going to do to Mania time? So I think there needs to be a twist here, and that would just be just top tier fantasy booking.
There's not much fantasy booking that we talk about on here that gives you chills when you talk about it. But that gives me chills talking about it, thinking about it. It's like, God, it could be so good.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's about it for our thoughts on.
That's what you think, huh? I'm going to add one more.
Oh.
So you talk about The Rock showing up, right? We get any big returns?
Charlotte Flair.
It's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Charlotte Flair is going to return.
I think that probably goes right in with your Tiffy cash-in.
Oh,
imagine if Tiffy cashes in, she gets that title, and then all of a sudden you hear the music hit.
Woo! God. What if Ric Flair returns? I fought your daddy, Cody Rhodes.
The music hits and it's just Lil Nate. It's just Charles Robinson.
We do need a Charles Robinson versus Ric Flair match.
He just walks out.
Once and for all.
Yeah.
One time only.
I think she is the heavy favorite. I mean, I think it's almost between now and then we'll see what kind of leaks come out, but I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. Anybody else? I know they've rumored, like people have talked about Becky. You think Becky would be there?
Yeah.
I almost feel like it would be too much.
I think Becky will be a Rumble. Becky will be a Rumble. I think Charlotte will be a Netflix. Male superstars. Is anybody hurt right now? Can't think of it over the top of my mind. Who have we not seen in a while? Can't think of it over the top of my mind.
Dragunov's the only one I think of, but I don't know what his time frame is.
Yeah, and he
also doesn't move the needle like that. You know
love,
what I mean?
love him to death, but no on that one.
He'd be a great SmackDown.
Yeah, he would be a great SmackDown. He'd be a great SmackDown addition. So, yeah, that's just us talking about Raw to Netflix happening tonight. Come watch it with us on our live stream, twitch.com/codwrestlepod, and follow us on all of our socials at codwrestlepod, COD WrestlePod. Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts at YouTube, Spotify, Apple, etc. And we have a link tree with all of our socials. Twitch is in there as well. Go follow all that. Start commenting on all of our stuff. We love getting the chats with you guys. We have a Discord as well if you want to come talk to us. So, I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast, and we will see you next time.